do or die for, well, in a lot of ways, both teams, but more so for RoX KIS in this first game.
Yeah, I think RoX KIS has got a really good lineup, though. And they've got a very Roxy lineup. It's classic picks for them. Is that a new word? Is that a new Foxy? Roxy? I don't know, I like it. They have
Witch Doctor.
excellent stuns, they have strong lanes, and they just have a lineup that completely falls off in the late game. That's RoX KIS in a nutshell, isn't it? Like, apart from the game they won against Alliance, which they won in the super late game against a stacked Naga. That was a very weird game in which RoX had some late game, but the late gamers they had were also heroes that were really good in the mid game. What was it? They had the Tinker, and oh, what was their other carry? I forgot. Was it the Lifestealer? Oh. No, it wasn't.
I hope these are rhetorical questions, because, you know.
Because I shouldn't be expecting you to know any.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Alright.
Absolutely.
Let's see what RoX brings to the table. Oh, yo, already, actually, we could be starting off with something here.
The fissure into the Witch Doctor zone. He's going to use the tango to get out. But the Rocket Barrage is actually in range. I think they got first blood via Fly actually getting the last hit. But experience going the way of Fnatic. Getting the first. I'm actually surprised they got that. I didn't think they would be in range. That Rocket Barrage.
When they didn't connect the Gale, I really felt that wasn't happening. But Fnatic realizing they have a sick level 1 fight. On level 1, when you have Fissure,
the battle begins.
Rocket Barrage and Gale and Cask. I mean, their entire lineup, apart from Disruptor, is awesome on level 1. So they were ready to fight RoX, even though they have like double stun and cogs. They were still ready for it. And RoX were trying to avoid it, but Yol sticking out his nose there and gets caught out. Easy first blood for Fnatic. So I want to talk about the lanes really quickly, because this is interesting. So on the bottom lane, we're going to have Zeus played by Solo, so he's not going mid. And he will be joined by Yol on the Ancient Apparition. In the mid lane, it's going to be BZZ, as well as Godblack on Wraith King and Leshrac, respectively. And top lane, it's going to be Sidon and the Clockwork.
Split Earth. Of course, he does have a haste to assist him.
Let me put it like that. Yeah. He cannot get a CS without using Fissure. That's just how it is.
Well, you did call the mid Earthshaker. I mean, I know that Hani plays mid exclusively for Fnatic, but I still had my doubts, considering the hero that was picked, of course, was Earthshaker, and he's complete garbage. But in a solo lane at least. But I was expecting it to turn into a dual lane at some point, which it still might, as Fnatic has their tri lane set up at bottom, and unless they can get a kill right off the bat, looks like they're gonna just auto attack these creeps and push down the tower a bit, and perhaps turn into a little bit of aggression. But I would expect the hero to eventually go towards mid lane, as No Tail's gonna get caught out here. Taking a lot of damage from the tower, actually. The last hits are gonna be enough. Yo, one click away, he's gonna get it. Meanwhile, the dive Solo in a little bit of trouble. Rocket Barrage is up, along with the cast doing so much damage. Rocket Barrage, though, is gonna be more than enough damage to take out Solo. There goes the Cold Feet. Fly's gonna attempt to run away. It's not gonna proc, though. Yo, gonna need more than a few auto attacks to get this kill, thanks to the healing from Witch Doctor. And it ends up being
tower is under attack.
1-for-1 overall.
Really good for RoX. They're playing a try versus 2, and if they get trades, that's perfect for them, because they just know that in the mid lane, Hani is gonna get like jack shit on the Shaker. There's just no way he's getting anything. Even playing one-on-one against Wraith King is not favorable for the Earthshaker, even though of course it's one of the better lanes he can have. He's gotta be able to get a few last hits like this when there's no secondary hero in the mid lane, as they are actually running a tri-lane bottom now with Godblack as well. And I just want to say that the choice from RoX KIS with how they put their lanes was really smart, because they predicted Fnatic would put the Shaker mid, and they want to lock him down because he can have a lot of impact in the mid game. And also the Ancient Apparition, skill build wise, didn't take Chilling Touch until level 3 because he was not in a tri-lane. So he focused on the Cold Feet as well as the Vortex, which has great synergy with Zeus. They just do so much magic damage, and now Godblack as well is down here. Vortex could be crazy here. Oh, No Tail's gonna walk right into them.
Split Earth. Wow, that is so much damage. Cast is gonna come out, but No Tail's gonna drop before anything said and done. Yol taking a lot of Rocket Barrage damage. The double Maledict. Solo's gonna go down. Right click from air is gonna be enough. Another Rocket Barrage, but he's gonna go down the right click of Yol. Fly in the meantime, 1v2 situation. Split Earth is gonna hit, and these are right clicks from them are going to be enough, and RoX KIS is winning this, despite starting it off 3v2. They've given some space to Earthshaker, who is actually pounding into Wraith King right now, but that bottom engagement was insane.
A beautiful play by RoX here. I think Fnatic should, the moment No Tail got caught off there, just accept the casualty, because they were kind of running into a 2v3 after that a great rocket barrage from Era in the start, but it wasn't enough. And then they need to give that up instead of giving additional kills here, so... For them, they killed the Zeus first so he doesn't get levels, which is really important, because this hero with early levels in a trial lane is just gonna kill people with a high level of Lightning Bolt. At the same time, it's definitely not worth it for Fnatic, what just happened there now. Did you even present the lanes for them? I'm actually not sure if we ever got around to do that.
Not even, it's too late. Not gonna bother, because I know I'm gonna miss a kill, unless you want to do it.
We can. There's nothing going on right now, so I'm pretty sure. So it is going to be Trixie top lane like we expected on the Venomancer. Hani in the mid lane on the Shaker we kind of mentioned already, which leaves the trio Era as well as Fly and No Tail on Gyrocopter, Witch Doctor, and Disruptor respectively. And this tri lane down the bottom lane, I feel like, so we've already seen how much has been going down here, and this is going to be the most important lane. I feel like Fnatic are just flat out going to lose this game if they die again on this lane. RoX KIS has such a snowbally lineup, which kind of their weak point right now was supposed to be this bottom lane, but doing really well. Apart from that, Sedoya in the top lane has 21 CS against a Venomancer. He's tying against a Veno with a melee hero. That's really good as well.
That's a good point. I didn't even realize that. That's pretty insane, actually. I wanted to mention that despite Hani being Earthshaker in mid, and that's essentially talking crap about the hero in a 1v1 situation. This is like the best case scenario for him. Despite this very beginning where it was a 2v1, obviously things have changed quite a bit in this game where RoX KIS had to match the tri-lane. Actually, they didn't really have to, but they did regardless. But Earthshaker's getting the levels. He's not really a hero that desperately needs farm, as we're going to have a little bit of a dive here solo. Kinetic field, he's going to try to put as much damage as he can. Take a paladin to the face of Rocket Rush to enough damage. But here goes Disruptor going down. It's a 1-for-1 exchange at this point. Fly, oh, he's in a lot of trouble. Right clicks and the Split Earth will ensure yet another kill.
We're diving into 3 heroes with Chilling Touch behind the tower. Like, I really admire the aggression from Fnatic, but I feel like it's naive right now to go for these kind of kills that they do. And they're succeeding in keeping down Solo. He's always the casualty. He's died 3 times now in the Zeus, so he's definitely not getting too much out of it, but the supports are getting a lot.
Nice.
And Sedoya, how the hell did that just happen?
Okay, so well, people watching the camera knew exactly what happened, but he got cogged in. Trixie got cogged in pretty well, so we're gonna have to see a block here. But question is the rune gonna pop up? Yes, it is. He gets a nice worthless illusion on Earthshaker. He got cogged in, and Disruptor got there just in time to glimpse him away. But of course, he was just 1 rocket away from dying, so pretty easy kill overall for the Clockwork. But what do you think about what I was talking about, Earthshaker? He's not obviously winning this lane as far as CS is concerned, but really for him in general, unless you're going for some ridiculous Dendy type pub build where you go dataless, which I was joking about earlier, you just really need levels, and as long as you can get a blink dagger at some point, that's pretty much the use of the hero. Bottom lane. Literally nothing but 1 cask and rocket barrage. Destroyed his face. Lesh is so squishy.
Lesh has terrible base health, and he hasn't built any health apart from the 3 branches, so
Radiant's top
very easy for
tower
them to get
is
a kill
under
on Goblin.
attack.
We're probably going to see him going for a double Bracer build, so he can be cost efficient at the time when RoX KIS's lineup wants to peak. But you're absolutely right about the mid lane. I mean, Shaker, he had a rough start and was playing against a dual lane that was completely impossible. Now he's almost tied up. He's only 8 CS behind the Wraith King here, which is really impressive. I think Hani's been doing a great job. And you know what? Hani's like, I'm rolling. Okay, never mind. I thought he was getting a Midas with the gloves. He's getting treads first.
That's awesome.
It's very unusual for Shakers. Now, without the mana cost on Blink, you can easier support it, but it's still very, very rare to get
okay, this, now, although it's still a slim chance, this opens up the possibility of going dataless, among other things. You want a little bit of attack speed and tankiness with that kind of a build, but probably unlikely. But you never. Maybe they're pretty cocky. They're going to win at least 1 game in this series, and despite them being down this, what?
What do you think about Hani's skill build?
Wow. Interesting. Well,
this is kind of a classic thing to do when you're playing a carry Earthshaker, so perhaps it's showing even more because Fissure on all levels has the major part of the spell is the blocking. That's the most important thing. You have that. In that sense, it's kind of a 1-point wonder.
Bottom lane, call down into a cask. Oh, that's actually gonna. No, it's not gonna hit twice. The rocket barrage hit things up. He actually used it. Cold feet though, it's actually gonna keep him in place. The AAL is gonna proc a little bit. Solo is gonna go down though, but it's gonna cost Aaron's life. I guess it's okay. I don't even know at this point.
Really good juke by Solo. He played so well there. I think with a little... He could have even survived, I think, if he played the ending a little bit better. But you couldn't really ask for more than that in that scenario. Oh, Hani has an invis. Oh boy.
With level 4 Aftershock, his ult's actually going to stun pretty decently here.
It's gonna hurt like hell.
Solo. Oh, a solo kill is what I'm trying to say. He does
Radiant's
get the
top
kill.
tower
Fly
is
does
under
get
attack.
a right click in there. And he's just going to walk away as if nothing happened. That's Earthshaker at its
That was
best.
really close to a solo kill, you're right. I don't know if Fly needed to be there for that attack that he got off, but definitely good to ensure it. So what I wanted to point out about this Aftershock build is in a one-on-one scenario in mid, what's really good about this is that the mana cost on Enchant Totem is 50 on all levels, so it's very easy to harass a melee hero with a high
Radiant's
level in
top tower is
Aftershock,
under
because
attack.
whenever he goes for a creep you can do that, and you of
Dire's
course secure
middle
the kill
tower is under
on the creep
attack.
with Enchant Totem as well. So when you're playing combat oriented with a very low cooldown on Enchant Totem as well,
Radiant's
5
top
seconds,
tower
you
is
can get
under
multiple
attack.
Aftershocks off. It's kind of unlikely in many scenarios, but I don't think, when you look at Fnatic's lineup, the higher level in Fissure might not be that necessary right now. They have so much AoE
Radiant's
damage that it's more
bottom
about blocking
tower
it
is
off.
under attack.
And then Hani is playing more of a controlling role with long stuns when he gets in close. As in mid, he's gonna get caught on here by BZZ.
Radiant
The Fissure
structures
has
are
his enchant
fortified.
totem. Look how long it's stunned,
Radiant's
which is
bottom tower
pretty
is under
hilarious
attack.
because, I mean, we usually see that leveled up at some point, but it's not really evident as much as it's stunned. But bottom lane, Flash dead again, squishiest freaking hero in the
Radiant's
game,
bottom
and Fnatic's
tower
going to clean up
has
that
fallen.
bottom tier 1 tower. Earthshaker did not die, of course.
They really pulled it back in this bottom lane, so this was going terribly for Fnatic in the bottom lane, with the exception of Era getting good farm. That's kind of the only thing they got out of the
Dire's
lane, apart
middle
from
tower
getting
is under
unfavorable
attack.
trades, but they just pulled it back. They got 2 kills down here because of Hani's rotation. They got the tier 1 tower. Era has Drums, Phase, Wand, Aquila at 10 minutes because he's 6 and 2. So Gyro is getting really big, and when you look over at RoX KIS, who's really going to counter him? That's their problem. We talked about in the late game, they're just going to fall off heavily. So they need to put on the pressure onto Fnatic before they really reach their peak, which is in about 10 or 15 minutes when Gyro has a BKB and Shaker has a blink.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But the game has just been all Fnatic in the last 5 minutes. Apart from those few deaths, if you look at the gold graph, they've been gaining about 3,000 there in mid lane.
TP is going to be cancelled thanks to the captain. Here's the initiation from Sadoy. He's going to get glimpsed out immediately, although they didn't even need to do that. They could have killed him right straight out. Wraith King's going to pop his ult thanks to that beautiful death. But there's the ultimate from Zeus, taking out 2, make it 3. Beautifully done from RoX KIS. A really nice turnaround. Zeus actually bought back to be able to use his ult.
He got killed in the top lane by Hani and Trixie there. Of course, if you're in the off lane with Zeus, you're pretty much dead if you get caught by anything that can stop it. But yeah, I'm so surprised to see Fnatic committing to that Wraith King
Dire's
kill.
middle
He
tower
was right
is
in
under
front of his
attack.
tier 1 tower. They knew he had the mana for his
Dire's
ultimate and the
structures are
stun,
fortified.
and they still went for it. And that hookshot cog from Sadoy there on the mark. That was really a money cog right there, catching 3 heroes inside.
The glimpse on Clockwork actually saved Clockwork's life, which was hilarious. And he used all the spells, so they didn't really need to do that. As Wraith King is going to get caught out, will go down. Fly in the meantime is going to get cold feet here, but Fly and Fnatic are going to clean up completely in the mid lane. AA ult. I'm sorry, that's the rocket actually coming out from Clockwork. Going to connect, but of course Fly with level 1 restoration,
Radiant's middle
killing his
tower
team
is
very
under
slowly. They're
attack.
going to pressure this tier 1 tower in mid. I think the hero to kind of look for RoX KIS is Clockwork, which you saw his amazing initiation in mid, setting things up. But really, it's Wraith King, because he's the only semblance of late game that they have on this team. As Hani's going to run into Zeus with another Invisor. He's going to use his Echo Slam into the Enchant Totem, into the Fissure, into the right click, right through the ass.
You see the
Is
damage
Zeus.
of that attack?
Yeah, it's insane.
300 on that. So
Level
the
4 Enchant Totem and treads, man. It's beautiful.
main weakness this combat build of Earthshaker has is that when you don't have a high level of Fissure, it stuns for 1 second, so it's not really as good of a gap closer as it
Dire's
is on
bottom
level 4
tower
with
is under
1.75
attack.
second stun. But if you keep finding Invis runes, I mean, this is the best build you can have. It's better than the Fissure build in general, because if you can get in close, you just solo
Dire's
kill heroes with
bottom
level 4
tower is
enchant.
under
So
attack.
getting lucky on the runes, but at the same time, he's really been taking any opportunities he could, and now he's got a 13-minute blink. And, you know, this is kind of when, I don't want to say it starts falling apart for RoX KIS, because they're definitely still in it, but they're now 5,000 gold behind against a better late game, and arguably, from the global strat, probably also a better team fight team. There's so many sick teamfight abilities on Fnatic's squad that you need BKBs against. RoX aren't getting.
I think the real issue, Wraith King isn't going for any game-breaking items. He just got drums, and at the end of the day, his aura, which is going to be leveled up more as time goes on, obviously, it's not really helping. Like, look at the lineup on their team. They have nobody that really takes advantage of that other than himself. And I feel like, I mean, in a normal game, this would obviously be a terrible draft because I feel like you need like a harder carry to go along with Wraith King. He's not really a hard carry. He's more of a side carry or even a utility in some respects, as we're going to see a smoke from Fnatic. But yeah, I think this is very close to snowballing out of control in Fnatic's favor, despite having the horrendous start. And I think a lot of it has to do with them leaving Earthshaker alone in mid because he got the levels he needed. I mean,
well, this rocket's gonna. This gives RoX KIS a false feeling of safety. They just threw out a rocket that didn't find the smoked heroes, so now Fnatic might be getting the initiation that they need.
Does not have Echo Slam for another 30. We'll see if that ends up mattering or not. Trixie's keeping the enemies at bay. Oh, Sadoy. Oh, he's gonna
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We need to get glimpse of Static Storm on top of the kinetic field, and the Rocket Barrage is way too much damage trying to handle. A ult is gonna completely whiff, but Era's in a lot of trouble. There goes the Zeus ult, doing a lot of damage, but Era will fall. Fly popping his ult, but getting one kill as a result. Glimpse into the kinetic field, which is somehow up again. Look at the right clicks from Hani. Good God Almighty, sir. Taking the fissure is Gallblack. He's getting very low. I don't think he's gonna go down, despite the poison sting being applied. Only level 2. Ends up being a 3-for-1, and that was without, like I was talking about, Earthshaker not having his ultimate, which is now up at this point.
Tower has fallen.
They got such a good. This ward right here really gave them that fight. They saw Clockwork for just a moment. That was enough for them to get the kinetic field out, for them to follow through and lock him down. So he didn't have any impact in the fight. So he only died. He didn't even cast a hookshot or anything or cog. So essentially, even though they committed the ultimate of both Gyro and Disruptor to that one kill, it's such a high value kill that it just opens up the fight to them. RoX KIS didn't have any sort of chance of getting into a good position there, and Fnatic just capitalized on that, getting 3 kills instead of only the 1 they were setting out for. And who did they lose? They lost Era though, right?
Yeah.
I believe they did. So, of course, an expensive casualty, but he still got a lot out of that in the end. He got a lot of assist gold and kill gold, and they also got the tier 1 tower. And Fnatic are fine if nothing happens. It's cool that they're playing aggressively and putting pressure, because that's the best way for them to secure Era farm, is just to open up the map for him. But essentially right now they don't even need to. They can lean back, they can get some good farm, get some more key items up before they take the next big engagement. Doesn't look like they want to wait though. Yeah.
I mean, they could. They could wait as long as they want with the lineup that they're going up against. I mean, there's some push coming out from RoX KIS, but Lesh kind of playing the more. I guess he has some decent farm. He has 2 bracers and an Ogre Club, so he's tankier than you would think, but still has been going down pretty freaking fast overall. But again, it all comes down to Wraith King. I don't know how much he can do, especially when you pick up drums at the 16-minute-ish mark. 16-ish minute? I don't know. But Hani has a Blink Dagger, Ogre Club. Is he going BKB or is he going Halberd? What's he getting?
You tell me.
I honestly thought he'd just go straight damage at this point, because he's hurting. He's hurting like a son of a bitch.
I actually think he's getting BKB, because if you look at RoX KIS's lineup, they just don't have anything against it. It's the one way RoX can win this game now, is by taking good team fights and combining their spells well. The moment Fnatic starts getting BKBs, that gets exponentially harder, and they don't have anything else to fall back on. Like you said, the Wraith King could potentially carry, but he isn't even close to being a carry in this game. And what I think RoX should be doing is get a Blade Mail on Wraith King as well, and just start putting pressure and forcing fights. They're actually going to do it right now. This is really deep.
Dive this? Yeah, this is really risky. No Tail gets off his ultimate along with the kinetic. Look at the damage done. Wraith King goes down. Of course, his ult's going to frog. Arrow is actually taken out thanks to Sadoy. There's the Echo Slam. Did it actually miss completely everybody? I don't even know. 2-for-1 exchange right now in favor of RoX KIS, which is surprising to say the least. We have a buyback on the Witch Doctor. No TPing in. Team's aid, who's now chasing the likes of Wraith King with 0 escape mechanism. Solo, though, getting very low, trying to do as much damage as possible. Trixie's almost going to go down, but it's going to cost Solo his life. As Wraith King actually comes back in, really wants No Tail. This is the original heal that they initiated on. Well, no, I believe it's a 2 for... I don't even know at this point, but there's the glimpse. And the death, the right clicks. Oh my goodness. It feels like Earthshaker's the carry, not Wraith King.
What a great trade, maybe.
Shut up! How dare you?
That was definitely in Fnatic's favor, even though they had to buy back for that. It looked good for RoX KIS with the way they went in, actually. They got 2 kills for 0 in the start, and like you said, the Echo Slime only secured Fnatic 1 kill. But with the fight developing and Fnatic's chasing abilities with their heroes with Glimpse and with Venomancer, it was really easy because RoX KIS has committed so far in that if they don't flat out just really win the fight, it's gonna come back and bite them afterwards. And Fnatic do get a 3 for 2 in total, I think that was.
No, there was one buyback on
I think
Witch Doctor.
Gyro and Witch Doctor died. I'm pretty sure though. So
Gyro's been dying pretty quick. He just really needs to finish this BKB, which he's getting closer to now. Mithril Hammer away, I do believe. Yeah, the 1600 gold to boot.
when you look at RoX KIS's lineup, one thing I've really fallen in love with that I've actually mainly seen in pubs because we don't really see Wraith King in competitive play. I think this hero is one of the best heroes in the game to get Blade Mail on. The reason is, with every other hero when you have Blade Mail, the problem with it is that you need to activate it. So if you get caught out by a stun chain, your Blade Mail can do absolutely nothing, and the enemy team doesn't have to hit you. Playing a Wraith King, you can mistime your Blade Mail so you don't get it off because you have a second life, and you get to choose on which life you want to put pressure on the enemy team when they can't attack. At the same time, if you're committing into a fight and you have good follow-up, the enemy team can't just ignore you because you hit pretty hard and you have a good stun that you can chase with. I think Blade Mail is a really nice choice in this hero.
Dire's
I would
middle
have
tower
personally
has
got that
been
over drum,
denied.
even as a first item in this game, because Rocks are in a position where the late game isn't going to work out anyway. Get cost-efficient items right now. And BZZ is looking at an Ogre Club, so I guess a BKB as well. That's just not going to work. It's not enough.
He's definitely going utility, at least at the early stage. I mean, he's going for a BKB next, it looks like. So if you're gonna go utility, I would probably would have gotten the Blade Mail as well over the drums in this case. Trixie though, gonna get rocketed. They're gonna give a little bit of vision. Drums actually popped. There's the stun that's gonna completely take Trixie out of his TP, and he is worse for wear in a terrible position. And actually, Sadoy's gonna hook shot in and secure the kill. Of course, Sadoy has the Blade Mail himself. We've seen come into effect Ani. Actually TP's in, knowing that RoX KIS is actually stuck in the top tree area above the tier 1. First life is dead. BZ.
Can life die?
Yes it can, as Echo Slam comes in. Big hit from Hani. Gonna rip through Lesh, despite having the tanky items will fall as if he's a little monkey. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but either way, 2 dead for RoX KIS, and more will
Dire's
follow.
top
The
tower
Maledic
is
is going to
under
secure the death again on Sadoy. Solo trying to do as much damage as possible with the Fissure, into the Enchant Totem, into the ulti actually from Sly. It means a 4 for 2 exchange at this point. The last to survive is Yol. And actually he might get away.
Don't have vision for Glimpse, I think. They don't have any
Dire's
wards,
top
but Shaker can
tower
blink
is under
after.
attack.
That's it.
That's Tread swap.
Needs to Glimpse.
You
Yeah,
need
it's
to
fine.
Tread swap, bro. Okay, he doesn't need to. He just wants to get Enchant Totem.
Radiant's bottom
Only
tower
12.
is
That's
under
pretty good.
attack.
Just return.
Dire's top tower
I love
is
this.
under attack.
The Arrow dies in every single fight, but Fnatic are still winning overall.
Just needs that BKB so badly.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing though. I mean, his deaths are totally worth it because the amount of damage he does by committing is what's winning the team the fights too. He gets good
Radiant's
call
bottom
downs,
tower
he
is
gets a
under
couple of rocket
attack.
barrages on level 4 and flat cannon damage dealt out. After that, he can die. He's done so much damage that it's easy for the rest of Fnatic to clean up. And the only thing Fnatic need in their fights
Radiant's
once
bottom
again is
tower
to get
is
ahead.
under attack.
If they're ahead, their lineup will get more kills. You saw it right then. AA was really far away. You follow with a blink, you glimpse. You have a Venomancer who can catch heroes out as well. So really, Fnatic looking very good in this game, and they know how much is on the line. They need to win. Game only, like we said in this series, and if it's the first one, they can relax. Then the rest of the series is kind of just practice, and perhaps we're going to see them experiment because of that. I'm 100% sure that if Fnatic wins this game, we're going to see a Meepo pick if he's in the pool. Something I know a lot of people want.
Gonna get banned. Come on. Who doesn't ban Meepo in a captain's draft against Fnatic?
It's just, you know, it would be bad mannered for RoX KIS if they're already out of the tournament to not let Fnatic have their Meepo game. Because, you know, when they have nothing really to play for apart from the fun, then get a fun game. It's always fun with Meepo in the game.
True. True.
I don't think they would do that, but I'm actually not sure if RoX KIS realized that they need a 2-0. If they're familiar with the situation in the game, because
That's a real question. Are either
honestly,
team?
I wasn't right. I was being really stupid last cast when I was saying they only needed 1 2-0 victory when they in fact needed 2, and they got the one
I
against
just
Liquid.
trusted you. I blindly trusted you, Cinderin.
Yeah, that's your biggest mistake. It's
It is.
really dangerous to do. And this one is starting to look out of their control. I won't say it's unwinnable anymore because they still have a really sick teamfight lineup. They're strong, they have good damage, but with every passing minute they don't put pressure and get anything, they get picked off by...
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Carry
I
Shaker.
didn't even see it. He's going for
Yeah, they
yes,
have
he's
to
going
get
for
out.
Stygian. Top lane. TPs are gonna get RoX
What are
KIS
you
out
talking
just
about?
in
It's
time.
BKB.
Damn it! I thought he finished his BKB and then had a mithril hammer and a recipe. I didn't even look at the recipe. God dang
That'd be
it!
really legit
He
farm.
needs that. I keep calling it Stygian. My apologies. Deso.
You're gonna see another damage item for Hani though. I think he
They
wants the
better.
BKB to just set him up. Now he's getting carry items. I think he doesn't need these teamfight items like Shivas or Scythe or Refresher or Aghanims or whatever. He can play the carry role.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Daedalus
together with
just
Gyro.
needs it. The Doi.
So
Enchant
much under
Totem.
control.
Oh, Fissure's gonna kind of block No Tail in, but it might not even matter at this point. Glimpse back into the Static Storm. Enchant Totem. Kaboom! Goes Hani.
It was your own damn fault.
So sick. Top lane though, Yol gonna get his ult off on Trixie, who's actually getting 1v1 to the level 8 Ancient Apparition. Of course, Zeus helps out a little bit, but hey, Zeus always helps out. He's a good guy.
1-on-1 too though. Y'all is really trying here. Oh! He actually did stay alive! Good timing with the 1 and the urn, and he stays alive on 5 health, I think. He didn't tick over because only Poison Nova was remaining in the end. He obviously can't tick over from that one. That's the only one you can't.
I have to mention that I don't know if this is normal for people that cast, but I never watch my own cast because I can't stand the sound of my voice. But I may actually, I may actually watch today's cast because apparently I say the most hilarious things when I am dead tired. I don't. You've noticed some things that I've said in team fights that make absolutely no sense, but for me, I don't know if it's because I'm so tired that I find it funny, but it sounds hilarious in my they make no sense.
You're just tired.
Oh, that's so sad to hear. I'm gonna go watch it when I get some sleep as we see a smoke from Fnatic, and I'm gonna be so disappointed that it's not funny at all. I'm gonna be so sad.
Relax, you're doing fine.
The smoke's actually split in two. They're gonna have to wait a
Dire's
bit
top
because
tower
they
is
need to
under
initiate.
attack.
Hani doesn't even need his ultimate. He just needs a chant
structures
totem.
are fortified.
That's most of his damage. There's
Done
a
for. He's dead
there's
twice.
well, the fissure to follow. Gyrocopter.
Dire's top tower is fallen.
Everybody except for the disruptor, and there comes Zeus, gonna kill Fly on the fly, pun intended, yes, very much. Earthshaker pops a BKB, there's the initiation from Clockwork, he's gonna get the kill on Air, who dies yet again, pops his 10-second BKB for not. So despite having the BKB, pops it in the most inopportune time, to say the least. Ani really wants to go in here, but Solo has vision. And I do believe Fnatic's gonna back him. No, actually, Hani wants some more. He wants some more.
Yeah, he has Echo Slam.
No.
He's ready to dunk. Oh, he's another invasion.
We need a blink. He
think
doesn't
he's
need the
gonna-
blink dagger this game. He's just getting
boy.
invis from
Look
left
at
and right.
attack.
RoX KIS's positioning. He could kind of get 3 kills here if they stack up like this in the mid lane.
I think he's
But
gonna
they
go
do. They have a ward, so they saw him getting the invis and they're gonna back out.
in. Okay. Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay. Disruptor has Aghanims. Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
That is sick.
So this doesn't matter that much yet. Actually, it kind of does. We haven't talked about Lishrak's potential at turning into a semi-carry
Radiant's
later on in the
bottom
game,
tower
which he
is
actually
under
can. He has a
attack.
BKB. All, but he can't use that if
Dire's
he's in
top
Static
tower
Storm.
is under
Clockwork can't use
attack.
Blade Mail if he's in Static Storm.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is with no damage items. Like, I'm so. I don't understand. It's just treads, man.
Dire's
Treads
top
BKB.
tower is under attack.
We were talking about how this hero in the laning situation he had was gonna have a really hard time. And Hani has just he's been a player this game.
It's because it's the 100% because of the levels. Like, honestly, RoX KIS, they were doing fine in 2v3 situation at bottom, and then they brought somebody out of mid lane, and then it was a 1v1 melee versus melee for Earthshaker, which sure Wraith King's gonna get the farm, but again, levels are going Earthshaker's way, and he's so level dependent. So I'm not gonna say I'm shocked, but of course he's going this carry build, which is amazing to see. So it's definitely helping his cause. Everything's aligning for Hani this game. Trixie gonna get bolted. The Gale will be enough
Radiant's
for him to get
bottom
away.
tower is under attack.
AO as well is going to fly down here. It's actually going to do absolutely nothing. So No Tail is away from that. Maybe Fnatic are going to go really aggressive now. I think the major part that's kept RoX KIS in the game so far has been Zeus ult and A ult combined. That's kind of been, apart from that one really sick hook shot in the mid lane that got them 3 kills, it's been this ultimate combination that's been getting them the kills every fight. It's not been too much else. So when A ult is down, I think Fnatic are in, you know, it's generally a really important ability, but especially in this game, it's been doing so much work for RoX that when that's on cooldown, I think Fnatic can play even more confidently than they've done so far. They're looking to push the bottom tier 2 now. Everyone's gathering up. Hani's ready. He's got an ultimate orb, so...
What's he going for? Is it...
It is Hani, so it's probably a Scotty, right?
I hope it's a Scotty, but I'm thinking probably Lincoln's.
A Scythe. Scythe would be the obvious choice, but it's Hani, so it could be a Scotty. What's
Sure,
that
Scythe
totem,
would
by
be
the way?
pretty good.
What the hell? Totem of the Forest Hermit.
What do you mean? Yeah, this was made by Robo. The one and only Robo. I really like this Earthshaker. This was only like $2 or $3, something insanely low. I think this is my favorite Earthshaker set, probably. It's very, he's like a hermit, you know? I don't know what I like. I don't really like it. Anyway, smoke from RoX KIS.
That's why it's called Of the Forest Hermit.
BKB popped by Era. He's gonna run right through everybody. There's the initiation from Sadoy, and oh my god, the burst damage from Zeus is so much freaking damage. But there's the Earthshaker ult. Good Lord Almighty, he gets 2 kills, 3 overall. But of course, Wraith King will pop right back up. His Era will die yet again. Which is pretty much the story of this game for Fnatic. They're doing very well despite Era just getting owned in every single fight. And Hani actually, I feel like he wants to go in. He really wants to go in. He really wants to go in. And there's the fissure. There's the, oh, the double damage hit. Thanks to that, actually it's a quadruple damage if I'm not mistaken. Is it 400%?
Yep.
Yes. Oh, BZZ.
500 damage.
Good
Radiant's
God
top tower
Almighty.
is under
No
attack.
mana though for Earthshaker. Int treads aren't gonna do the trick.
The blink. Oh.
Trixie's here though. What? Did he just dodge that with the blink?
Radiant's top
Hani.
Oh
tower
man,
is
enchant
under
totem's
attack.
up. He
Yeah.
can't catch up without the blink though, it doesn't look like. Because there's the Wraith King stun, but Trixie's here. Oh, he's gonna hit Hani directly in the face.
Radiant's
Trixie's
gonna
actually
get
diving
so
pretty
much
deep.
money.
Attack.
Is he gonna kill himself? Is he gonna kill himself? He can't even get it up. Can't even get
You
it
know,
off.
that's one of the
Trixie's
most
gonna get
hilarious
out.
things to see in Dota 2 is an Earthshaker trying to cast when he's in the cogs with battery assault on. So stupid. But there was nothing else he could do. That disjoint from Hani was so legit. It was very close to getting the kill there. It would have been a beautiful play, but at the end of the day he overextends, and that's 1400 gold down Sadoy's pocket, and that finishes his BKB. RoX are still in it. I mean, as long as Era's item progression isn't more significant than it's been because of his 8 deaths. Mind you, he was 6-2 and he was looking really good. And since then he's got 1 kill and 6 deaths and some assists. So the mid game definitely hasn't been his. He's been focused down really hard, so RoX has been
Think
doing
about the
good.
Demon Edge pickup. He's not going for Rapier, I hope.
Oh, it's classic MKB build, I guess. It's
You don't go MKB this fast though, typically after BKB, do you? As we
Oh,
see a
Smith,
glimpse into
wait,
Static
what?
for nice
Oh,
BKB
yeah.
though, on Lesh. That was his 10-second charge? No, that was his 9-second.
This is another nice thing about Disruptor is that he can pretty much force BKB charges because you have to choose between dying and using a BKB and then you know what you're going to choose. So no
He has
tail.
Ags, so sometimes you don't have the choice.
It's true, if you don't pop it before you're glimpsed in and then you're inside the storm, then you're pretty screwed. That's true. But to be honest, I'm not sure if this is the most common gyro build, but it's one of them. I think you might be underestimating how good it is to get MKB right after BK, especially when you have the drum, so you have more. This is kind of... We see Butterfly, very rarely we see Manta style these days, and sometimes, you know, what else would you choose? I mean, there's...
I was thinking Manta. I mean, I feel like he's just getting owned, so perhaps he's just trying to do as much damage as possible before he actually dies.
Dire's
but,
middle tower
yeah,
is under
he's getting
attack.
owned.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 7 and 8, which I'm actually surprised he has 7 kills, to be honest. And I think a lot of those were in the early game with the rocket barrage damage. But no, you're probably right. I mean, we'll see how that. I mean, at the end of the day, the most of the damage is still coming from Hani, so they don't have to really worry about the damage at
It's
this
kind
point.
of crazy, isn't it? This Shaker has been doing so much work this game for Fnatic, but I think Era, this is the right item choice, because the Butterfly would not be good enough, because it would only be countering the Wraith King, who isn't even doing significant physical damage, so there's no point in building it. This is the highest damage item he can get apart from a Rapier for its cost. Oh boy, Godlack again. He's probably going to be forced to peek. Oh, he's too late!
Oh my goodness.
god.
Surprised he popped BKB for that, to be honest. But
Yeah, me too.
that was the 8
He did
second
have a
charge.
Plague Ward down, I think, from Trixie, so they would see no one was coming into the aid of Godlike from that angle, but...
Oh, Sadoy gonna take a homing missile. There's the glimpse into the static storm. He can't use any items, including that blade mail, which to save his life though.
By no tail.
We're just starting to see how great Aghanim Scepter. I mean, I don't know about this game in particular, but Aghanim Scepter on Disruptor, as we've talked about in past casts,
Radiant
is
structures are
unreal
fortified.
on Disruptor. Turns into an AoE Doom, which obviously a little bit of differences here and there, but
Radiant's bottom
disabling
tower
items
has
is a
been
very
denied.
unique mechanic that only Doom, I believe, is the... Yeah, Doom's the only spell in the game other than that
Radiant's
disables
middle
items.
tower is under attack.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not having a brain fart, I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. All stuns, of course, mute items, but yeah, that's the...
Well,
so,
yeah. AA has an axe of his own now.
So, you know, the thing about this game is, in the late game, everything Fnatic has, no matter how they build, it's going to be focused on their BKB usage. Because with the type of damage RoX KIS has, they have so much that's percentage-based that even with a ton of health on Fnatic's heroes, they can still die. To Static Field, to the AA ult, and to, of course, the Shatter effect from that.
Oh my god,
And
axe
just
game.
these two heroes combined, Zeus and AA, if they get to run freely into the fight, Fnatic, they could lose a fight where they're ahead by 20,000 gold. It's entirely possible because in late game, percentage-based abilities are just sick. Because all other spells, of course, fall off a lot, but these don't. Static Field kind of gets better the later the game goes, and Ice Blast certainly doesn't fall off either. So Fnatic needs to be a little bit careful, and that's that Honey went for BKB too, because he needs to get in close and enable himself to get the job done. It's not only about an Echo Slam. If he hits a good one, of course, that's really great, but he might need to do more consistent damage, because it's still scary for Era, this game, and you know what, we're kind of both wrong. He changed his plan. He went for the Demon Edge, and then he gets Butterfly just to spite me.
Just to spite you. Guess you want a little bit of raw damage to go along with the... You're right, the evasion properties aren't really that helpful. I mean, it's just Wraith King, and I mean, a lot of their damage isn't really coming from him anyway. I mean, he has drums and a BKB, as he's gonna find
He's
Fly.
in trouble.
BKB pop really early, and actually, this could perhaps Fnatic an opportunity to reinitiate into here. As Fly is actually gonna live, but the Zeus ult's gonna be used. He's gonna scout everybody out in the meantime. Hani really itching to go in, but we'll think better of it. Incoming! That was kind of a win for Fnatic, as here's the glimpse, but the BKB popped. This can prevent Clockwork from going into the Static Storm, which of course would, in all likelihood, have caused his death, thanks to the Aghanim Scepter. But all in all, 2 BKBs popped for RoX KIS for the death of Witch Doctor. I think Fnatic's fine with that. And a Zeus ult, mind you.
That wasn't as bad as it could have been, I think. Since they also worked for it, Honey. He wants to do this.
Doesn't have BKB. Hani though. There's the initiation. Sadoy's gonna hit 2 in the cogs. AAL's gonna hit Hani in the face. Aaron pops the BKB. Sadoy pops Blade Mail in the meantime. Wraith King has his ult. Will come back to life. Sadoy takes an ulti to the face thanks to Hani, who's gonna destroy the Wraith King. And there you see the 4-step on Trixie using his ultimate in the meantime. 3 for 2 exchange at this point. Trixie trying to run away with all his might. But you're seeing the power of Lesh, who's actually tanky enough to live through this engagement, which is surprising to say the least. Hani really wants to go in still. Blame him. Doesn't have much mana. Of course, going this Treads build, that's what's going to happen. You're going to use all your spells, and you just don't have enough mana to reinitiate if you live through the fight, which, if you're a typical Earthshaker, isn't the case. But of course, in this case, he is living through these fights because he's playing the carry, or semi-carry in this game.
I just want to say how much I love RoX KIS's lineup, and how much it's showing, like, that what they can do right now with the deficit they have in the lineup they're against is just... It's kind of interesting to see that... No, before this game, if we would have said that Fnatic would have a 15k gold lead and experience lead, I would give RoX KIS like 0% chance of winning, but the lineup they've managed to construct for themselves, even though it doesn't have a carry, I might have to eat my words about their late game potential, because the moment BKBs are down, these guys do sick damage. We haven't even talked, I don't know if you mentioned it, but I didn't notice at least, the synergy between Leshrac and the Veil is absurd as well. Sometimes you see Zeus picking it up only for himself, because it scales so well with his abilities, but with the amount of magic damage they have with this Veil, the Leshrac is just killing the heroes so quickly. Era just fell like a fly in that fight once Godlike came in close. Then they have the AA ult amplified by Veil. They have everything about Clockwork amplified by Veil. And the stun from Wraith King even.
You're seeing the power of the Sheep Stick, which is now picked up by Hani. And a Static Storm again, preventing
The only
BKB,
good
preventing
clock
Blade
is
Mail,
a stop
preventing
clock.
literally everything for Clockwork. And this could open up Roshan actually, which Trixie is now starting to a collection of Plague Wars, so it looks like they're going to attempt to do him. Who doesn't want to at this point?
What would you rate Roshan
You have
from
no
1 to 10?
response to that. What? AA ult?
Rate Roshan from 1 to
Oh,
10.
he's a 10, man. He's off the charts, for sure.
He just took 600 damage from using his ult, killed the blue Necronomicon. It's the only target. But there's no way RoX KIS are getting into this, so Fnatic.
Wow. Wow.
How many X do we have? 1,
I feel like, wow, okay.
3,
This is a
4?
really slow Roshan. Here comes the haste from BZZ. Veil of Discord used as we talked about. Are they attempting to steal this? Fnatic, oh my god, look how low they already get. Era is going to pick up the Aegis. Here's Hani with the ult. No. BKB's pops, he doesn't want to do anything here. He's actually getting kited big time. He's dead before he can do anything. BZZ in the meantime is going to use his ult. Fnatic, Era, and No Tail getting caught in the AA blast. And Trixie, this is a lost team fight for Fnatic overall. Fly getting off his ultimate, but it's really not doing any damage. Era fought back apparently.
Oh, yeah, Aegis.
Sorry, that was the Aegis, that's correct. As Wraith King will finally go down. So that's the only reason that they won this fight, is because of the Aegis. RoX KIS is doing work with this magic damage, man. I mean, the BKBs...
You see Trixie, I think the lightning bolt from Zeus did 600 damage or something on him. Just that, like, with the Veil on and the health pool he has now. Of course, both the static field and the lightning bolt damage getting amplified by the Veil.
Dire's
It's
top
absolutely
tower
crazy
is under
that
attack.
Zeus gets to free cast.
Lesh. Oh, Lesh. You're dead. BKB's down.
He doesn't BKB.
Can't do anything. I mean,
yeah.
a glimpse would have ensured the kill regardless. Getting a little cocky down there in the bot lane. What do you think of Ags on Lesh?
I feel like it's one of the weaker Ags in the game.
Look at it go!
Not because the
I
effect
agree.
itself isn't that good, but because Leshrac just seems to need so much more than that. But still, I feel like it's the correct choice in this game with the particular strategy RoX KIS are running and the kind of game they've had so far. I agree with it because again, the Veil makes his ulti even sicker. So it doesn't only get amplified by the regular amount from the Acceptor, but also again by the Veil factor. So everything you multiply by 25%. All of these magic damage upgrades.
Going all in on magic damage, and if you look at the BKBs for Fnatic, let's see. Gyro, it's at 5 seconds now. Witch Doctor's working on his, he's not quite done with it. And then Earthshaker would be the last one, and his is at 5 seconds as well, so... Fnatic needs to think about just repurchasing BKBs for this team, because that is the main damage source, as you talked about, for RoX KIS at this point. By far. I mean, the Veil of Discord is just doing absolute work this game. Ult. It's gonna hit Era. Of course, that's the Aghanim Scepter, so it's gonna do a decent amount of damage, but they're not gonna be low enough. Unfortunately, it's not really a true global strat without a third ultimate. I think a third... Rocket doesn't count for Clockwork, by the way. Zeus ulti, AA ulti, you'd need Spectre or something, then I would constitute it as an ulti. When 3 out of the 5, at least, have global ultis. That is the global strat.
I guess I would agree with that. Yeah, I would still kind of call this, you know, the way they drafted it was definitely with an eye on the global potential. But it's not a full global strat, which of course is very unlikely to get in Captain's draft. But they just saw the opening in the pool to at least get the combination of Zeus, Clock, and the AA, which is, like we've said countless times, been doing so much work this game for them. The Wraith King has... You know, the funny thing is about BZZ that he's really been taking so much damage, and I'm surprised Fnatic keep going on this Wraith King. Like, why do they commit to this kill? Impact on the fights is just that he hopes they go on him, right? Like, the best thing that can happen for RoX KIS is that Fnatic goes for BZZ, and they've been doing it a lot of times. Now that he has a Desolator, it starts being relevant. For the last 15 minutes, BZZ has been a non-factor, apart from just tanking up damage and using his ult. For the slow, mainly. I feel like the slow from his ult has almost been worth more than his second life in some cases.
He's been, in a lot of ways, he's played like Phoenix, where he initiates and then pops his ult. Of course, he can't actually pop his ult, he just dies. Boom, but he's there for an AoE slow at the beginning of the fight. Soy, again, Static Storm. Do they have enough damage here, though? Trixie pops his ultimate. Yes, they do. AA ult is going to fly in along with the Zeus ultimate are used. Don't think that's going to be enough to get a kill, though. Trixie is relatively low, but
Now Fnatic are on the hunt. With these cooldowns, oh boy.
Yeah, this is actually pretty big. So 2 dead for 50 seconds. Question is, do they have buybacks? Hani? Oh,
Nice smoke!
Oh, he was actually single
Wow.
target attacking, or fissuring, I should say, and that's what prevented the smoke, or prevented the sniper
What a
coming out.
sick smoke by Solo. That's really, really well played right there.
I'm surprised that he was single targeting though, instead of
What do you generally
area
do if you want to
clicking.
just hit one target and the only thing you want is to stun? Because then there's absolutely no risk of them dodging it.
Radiant
apart from
structures
if
are
they have a smoke with the
fortified.
C.
Dare he not know that they had the smoke with the seed to
don't.
dodge it. Oh, BKB popped by BZZ. They're actually kiting him
Just
relatively
fine time.
well.
This is a good play.
Yeah,
from
absolutely.
RoX.
Good play from Fnatic as well, kiting them. BKB is Era's ult doing absolutely nothing. BKB popped again for Lesh. He's taking so much damage from Gyrocopter.
Radiant's
Now
bottom
has
tower
starting to hurt
is under
now.
A
attack.
full butterfly along with the Demon Edge, and he could probably finish that MKB if he wishes to do so. Of course, he still wants a buyback, I'm sure. All
Good
5.
positioning.
The debuff is on all 5. Trixie didn't get hit by the initial blast.
This makes me wonder, why is Zeus not going for a Refresher instead of a Hex? When you look at these fights, when the AA ult hits 2 Zeus ults and a rocket, get them like 3 kills. It's insane,
Yeah.
but looks like it's going to be a Hex for Solo at least, and I think they might have in mind that they can't rely on hitting these amazing combos every time, because if they can't lock down Era with the Hex, it could backfire on them really hard. So that choice is of course completely valid. Hex on Zeus is a great choice, but again, with the strategy in mind, what did he just buy a Blink Dagger and Disruptor?
Yes. Is that a blink glimpse? Is that the point of that? Or actually, a blink static storm isn't too bad, because you know that's
Exactly.
pretty freaking good.
Blink is
Actually,
just good on every hero in the game. It's one of those items that is never bad to have.
he actually sold it and then bought it in the side shop. He's like, screw that. Somebody's using the courier. F you, team. But Wraith came with the Desolator. Is this going to be enough damage? I mean, really, it's still the magic damage. Wraith King, even with the Deso, it's 45 minutes in. The Deso is not going to be doing too much, especially considering you're not really taking advantage of the minus armor other than for Wraith King himself. It's still magic damage primarily for RoX KIS, but I think the BKB is a really big deal here. Fly is now finished with
finishing his MKB. Now he's getting an ultimate orb. This is really weird for me. I thought he was definitely now going to finish the MKB and just hit really hard, but oh, no tail.
Cal
Nope.
has
Yeah,
a glimpse, but of
good.
course, BKB is popped.
So
Yeah, that's
the
really
thing
odd.
is,
I have
it
no
would
idea.
make sense if there was something, for example, the Lincolns would be really good against, but again, it's more of an AoE build that RoX KIS are running, where it doesn't really matter that you have a Lincoln Sphere. He's still gonna, if he gets hit by the right abilities, he's still gonna die. Body might be the choice, just so he gets a lot more stats and feels more tanky that way, but again, health in this game is deceptively weak for Fnatic. It's not that good. As long as Solo gets to free cast, and the AA ult hits, these heroes could have hearts and still die, I think. To
Yeah.
the combo. Oh, Hani, one-on-one with BZZ. Oh, he enchant totems. That's not for BZZ. He doesn't know he's there.
He's gonna take a Wraith stun to the face. BKB's popped. Wraith King's a little bit faster than the Hani right now, but Hani has a blink up in
He has
1
a blink.
second, and he's good to go. Meantime, A ult did connect on 2 for Fnatic. Gonna force them to perhaps fall back. Actually, No-Tail's getting a little cocky. He's gonna be placing. Oh, he doesn't have any wards actually. He has a gem. Yeah, using the kinetic field for vision. Will not find any wards up there. But Hani.
Went for the Scotty. I don't think this is the right choice at all. Not
It's
in
more
this
for
game.
tanking. I mean, obviously, it doesn't work for a flat can other than the initial, like the first target you're hitting or whatever. But it's just tankiness, like you were talking about.
That's what he... I don't know, it's really tricky for me, because Satanic in this game is kind of bad if you're under the AA ult, else it's really good. That would be a lot more HP efficient if he's not under the... if he's not under the AA ult and he doesn't get stun locked, then he can heal back up with a Satanic. But if he's worried about constantly getting hit by the AA ult, then maybe the Scotty isn't the best choice either. It's kind of a good all-round choice, and it's very unusual to see on the Gyrocopter. It
looks
Yeah,
awesome.
it looks awesome. I just don't know if this is the right game to get it. I'm not completely convinced here by Era's choice.
Hani. Oh, the Echo Slam. This is gonna be enough. He has the Sheep Stick, of course. Fissure to follow. Another Enchant Totem to follow. It actually did hit Goblack. One more auto attack to go. Maybe 2.
Radiant's middle
Make
tower
it 2.
is
Make
under
it 3. Okay. The disgusting
Goblack has
dead
a lot of
horse.
armor.
Middle tower
21
has
armor.
fallen.
He have a buyback? He does not have a buyback. That's pretty big. And of course, he did recently purchased boots of travel, so that's one of the reasons he doesn't have enough money for buyback. Ended up getting destroyed solo to Urshek with an initiation from Sedoy. He's only on one this time. The fly pops his BKB. Maledict to follow him. Not going to be hurting himself, so his ultimate is actually doing complete work, and he's going to solo Sedoy. The Maledict will get the kill eventually. His Wraithkin's going to go down. The ult is up. AoE slow. BKB pop by air. He's not going to be slowed anymore. Force Staff is going to save BZZ. And actually the Glimpse comes in. Uh-oh, he gets the stun off, and then the rocket comes back with the vengeance, and that is the death of BZZ. The question is, does he have a buyback? No! This could be Rax. Urshika picks up a freaking refresher orb.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
In game, man. This tier 3 tower is dead, to say the least, if not more. I'm not sure how Roxy's gonna be able to defend this.
Radiant structures
They have Zeus,
are
they have AO.
fortified.
This AO needs to hit really well. Does hit well.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Oof. Oh, Sedoy missing his hook shot. The TP was canceled from, I believe that was, doesn't even matter at this point. Zeus comes in with a beautiful ulti. Trixie getting really low. Pops the BKB. Era just wants to get a kill on Sedoy. He does do so. A ult is not applied anymore. Just taking right clicks. BKB doesn't even matter. Era is just right clicking the victory. And Fly, really that started with Fly's initiation, or getting initiated on, I should say, is that is a team wipe for Fnatic. They're going to take this game, it looks like, which means RoX KIS is
Radiant's
out
middle barracks
of this tournament, Cinderin.
This was a really good show, though. In my opinion, one of the coolest games that we've had in the tournament from a strategic point of view. I really enjoyed watching RoX KIS staying in the game for 20 minutes at a huge deficit, and kind of falls back on the fact that they just got out-farmed, of course. That's one thing, because Fnatic have better farming heroes, and in the late game, once again, they